going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be talking about Mad Max 2 Road Warriors. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Levy. As I talk about movies, TV shows, video games, or just anything nerdy, you have come to the right place. And like I said, today we're talking about Mad Max 2, A Road Warrior. Without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, like I previously mentioned on my review on Mad Max, this is my first time ever watching this movie. Besides this movie and the original Mad Max, my only experience with Mad Max before that was Fury Road and a little bit of the video game that came out back in like 2015, I believe, or so. So it was really fun to go back and watch these older movies and kind of see where Mad Max spanned from. The original movie, in retrospect, is actually a little bit better now watching Road Warrior, just because of things that happen in Road Warrior. I do like how this one is continuing basically right off of that, a little bit more into the wasteland, a little bit more into the apocalypse. It doesn't have as much society, but we'll get into that later on in the positives. But before I get started, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Join the Nerd Talk family. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about the entire Mad Max franchise. If you guys excited for Furiosa, let me know as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the pros. And like I was saying earlier, I do enjoy how this kind of continues off the original Mad Max. We're a little bit more into the wasteland. This is what I was expecting when I popped in the original Mad Max, was a lot more of the wasteland, a lot more of the desert, you know, crazy cars, crazy car designs, crazy costume designs, people that are a little bit more crazy in the sense where they're not, following societal rules or morals or anything like that. They're building factions and driving these cars like crazy, do whatever they want, flamethrowers, just like Fury Road. This is what I expected from Mad Max. And this one was a lot more fun than the original one. This one has a lot bit better pacing. The editing was a lot better. In this movie, it doesn't feel as choppy. This one definitely has more of a clear vision than the original Mad Max, where the original Mad Max, you can tell what they were trying to do, but through poor execution, poor visuals, a little bit of a boring pacing and storyline, that one kind of fell short. This one definitely has a lot better pacing, a lot better action, and you can definitely see where Fury Road kind of takes its reminiscence from when you look at this one, Road Warrior, where you have, the big crazy cars with, the spikes coming out of it, the flamethrowers, where they also have like the people hooked up to the front of the bumper, just like in Fury Road when they do that to Max, so this definitely feels much more like a Mad Max movie than the original one. We're a lot more deeper into having no societal rules. We're in the wasteland now. It's not like the original one where it felt like there was still a society in the world. This one just feels like everything has gone to shit essentially, and everybody's just trying to survive. There's so many different factions that are just trying to take over all this gasoline. That's the main source of everybody trying to kill each other and rile everybody up. It's to get that gasoline. That's like one of the main reasons why everybody is so riled up. And I thought acting here was done pretty much overall very well. There is still some goofiness and some over the top characters that don't really, hit the mark fully, but you still appreciate what they were trying to go for. The costume design, well, the costume design on some characters is actually pretty unique and cool. There's some other characters that we'll get into that later, but overall the costume design is pretty cool. The set designs are pretty cool. There's a lot of nice practical effects when it comes to crashes and explosions and the flamethrowers and the gore. There's a lot of cool practical effects moments throughout the entire film, especially towards the end when you're getting that big chase scene. I thought that was absolutely awesome. Mel Gibson still does a very good job as Max, playing that menacing character that doesn't really speak that much. He knows what he can do and he does what he does. And I really like that Mel Gibson has been given that role as Max. I love that character of Max where he's just that badass that knows what he can do. He's a great driver. He's a badass and he's going to kick some ass, whatever, no matter what. But overall, this is just a fun movie. I can definitely see myself rewatching this one again. And in retrospect, I did say that on the original Mad Max review that I would never watch Mad Max ever again, probably. But with combining these two movies together, it definitely feels like a little bit more of a cohesive story when you really think about the overall arc of Max himself. But this one is just a lot more fun. I can definitely pop this one in without ever having to worry about watching Mad Max. If I need to, I'll watch it, but this is just a lot more fun. It's better pace, a lot of good action, a lot of good practical effects, some really unique costume design, some pretty decent acting, good directing. I really enjoyed where George Miller is taking the franchise in this sense, and you can definitely see how it just progresses all the way into World Warrior. I'm very excited to see Thunderdome. But overall, I definitely had a lot more fun with Road Warrior. But moving on to the cons, and I'll go off with the smaller cons and go bigger from there. Well, like I said, mentioned in a little bit in the pros is the costume designs. There are some pretty good costume designs, like Mad Max. You know, it's a little weird, but it's unique. Or like even the people that are kind of controlling this big tanker of gas in the middle of the movie. You know, they have some pretty unique like white designs. Like they kind of feel like they're trying to be like the heavenly characters, and it's kind of like a little bit of a cult. It kind of feels like. I thought their costume design was pretty good. Even some of the villains that we get here, like you have the Jason Voorhees looking character that is unique and kind of cool. I just don't really like that he has like this sex leather wrap on him, you know. And then even one of the main villains to Max himself, not really to the entire story plot line, but to Max himself, like he has like this football padding and then these leather pants, but then his leather pants don't have anywhere to cover his ass, so his ass is just hanging out the entire time of the movie. So it's like it's unique costume designs, but they're strange in a sense where it's like, do you really need to wear that or put that in the costume design? So it's funny, it's interesting. It doesn't always work. It just kind of seems a little weird, but I understand that in the waistline, people are a little bit more weird. They're not. They're just not like human anymore. They're a little more feral. So it kind of makes sense why they would wear things like this, but it just throws you off a little bit while you're looking at your main villain trying to be menacing, and he turns around and his fucking ass is out there the entire time. You're like, oh come on, man, put that thing away, please. You know, so it's kind of funny. It doesn't always work with some of the costume designs, but overall, it's interesting, and you can kind of look past it because the story overall is pretty decent. And probably one of the bigger ones is there's certain sequences that may bother some people. If you've never seen this movie, and you're definitely more into today's societal rules and kind of morals and stuff, there's probably some things in this movie that may tick you off. It didn't necessarily tick me off. It was kind of more of the things like, wow, they really went for that. That's well, you know, it's an old movie, you know, so just beware. It's something that could cause some people to be a little bit angry on certain scenes. It goes a little far in certain aspects, but overall, it's enjoyable movie. You know, obviously, put your mind where they were back in the '80s. It was a little bit of a different society back then, of course. So filmmaking was a little bit different, and there's certain sequences that could bug somebody. So just be aware of that. It's I'm not gonna spoil anything, but if you see the movie, just know that there's certain sequences and certain parts of it that could be a little dodgy for today's standards. But overall, let me know what you guys thought about Mad Max 2 Road Warrior. I actually enjoyed this one a lot more than the original Mad Max, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think about the entire Mad Max franchise. Are you guys excited for Furiosa? Also, let me know in the comment section down below. But again, if you guys like talking with these movies, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Thank you.